why would I join? And their reply was, you have to wait till you're 30. They didn't give me anything else. But like getting to talk to, Jim Lawler is just, it's fascinating for me because like
Oh yeah.
I understand that world as much as I possibly can without ever being in it. you know?
Yeah, it's interesting you have a personal connection to that one. That's episode 116 called Mad Dog, and we're talking about Darknet Diaries here. You haven't mentioned that.
Oh yeah.
That's what I make.
Sorry.
But in case anybody's not in tune here, I'm Jack. I make the show Darknet Diaries. But episode 116, Mad Dog, is a CIA agent named Jim Lawler who goes to foreign countries and gets information like information that country doesn't want the US to have. And he does it in various ways. And to me, it is like a penetration test story, but it's not monopoly money anymore. It's real stakes. Life is on the line. Like he could go to prison because espionage is illegal and this is what he's doing. And so it's not allowed to do this. This is against the law in any country. So it's like serious stakes at hand here. But to me, it's like I like that sort of thing. That's the high stakes. We're in a life and death situation, but my audience we like penetration tests more. We like the guys who have the whole kit of gear and are paid to go and break into a building because those are good stories. And I'm like, but what about this one? This one is like way higher stakes. Like everything is on the line here. And it's not as much of a fan favorite compared to just a regular penetration test story. And that's always surprised me because I'm like, this is the real deal.
Yeah. I mean, that's fascinating why that wouldn't like resonate with your fans, with your listeners,
Yeah, I mean, people liked it. It's been one of the top 20 best, but it's not the thing that they clamor for every time. Like more penetration tests is what they ask for. Never more CIA agents.
Have you ever interviewed someone that, worked for a government and then they just like disappear off the internet?
Worked for the government and then disappeared off the internet.
Yeah.
People disappear all the time because they're like quitting Twitter and quitting everything, and
I mean,
I
yeah.
lose them, and then they come back around.
I mean, I'll give you an example, right? So a couple of years ago, I interviewed someone that is a cyber warfare officer, at least he was at the time, for the NSA. And the only reason why I was able to corroborate him like actually being in it and doing it was because during the podcast, he gave me like details about the training and the process and everything else like that. And I ran it by people that I know are familiar with that area. And their response was, yeah, he never should have been on your podcast. And yes, all of that is accurate. Right. So like I know that the guy was real, and he had a presence before coming on the podcast. And then he comes on the podcast. We record the episode. It wasn't live or anything like that. Then he disappears. He basically messages me, tells me, hey, it's highly recommended that you do not post that episode. You have to wait, several years, 5+ years before you post it. You shouldn't post it tomorrow, which I didn't tell anyone that I was posting it tomorrow. It was scheduled to go live and get my stuff for the next day. And then he just disappears. Twitter's gone. Like everything that he had was gone. His email, all of it gone.
Wow.
And I'm like, man, this guy like completely ghosted me like to the max.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. I don't think I mean, I've had people disappear on me, but not like that.
Yeah, it was the weirdest thing because like it was scheduled to go live literally the next day. And then he sends me this message, was like, hey, do not post it. You can't post it for 5 years, I'm like, okay, like that's fine. I don't feel like having the FBI show up at my door. Like it's not a good look in my neighborhood, like
Yeah.
that's not something I want. So I won't post it. And then he just disappears because I was looking for him even recently because I was like, oh, it'd be cool to have him back on like as like a part 2 almost, I can't find the guy.
How fascinating. I did every now and then I'll get like a very strange call. Someone will message me on Signal and be like, hey, I want to do a quick call with you. And then like they don't tell me anything. And then they work for some intelligence agency and they're like, that last episode or something was spot on, but you didn't ask this one question and maybe you should ask it next time. And they tell me something to look at. And I'm like, oh, okay. What more do you know about that? I can't talk about it. And they hang up or something. But it's really fascinating. I don't know who these people are, but they'll call me every now and then and give me some strange trail to follow.
They just like randomly call you, just like look you up in the NSA database and get your number that way.
Yeah. I mean, I've interviewed Cybercom, NSA. I've interviewed, well, I guess four NSA agents now. Someone from the CIA, someone from an Israeli intelligence, and that's it. But like Canada will never speak. Canada's intelligence agencies and UK's intelligence agencies will never speak. Of course, Cozy Bear and Panda and all these guys, Russia and China will never speak. But it would be fun to interview APTs from around the world.
Yeah. It's interesting that they won't speak, but then like Israel, because I've had so many people on from the 8200 group. I mean, it's almost boring to me, because it's like they give you the same sort of stuff, same rough outline, and then it's like I can't talk about any malware that I reverse engineered.
Uh-huh.
Okay, well, thanks. Like, it's interesting.
Yeah, I get the a lot of CEOs message me or their PR people, and they're like, "Hey, well, I'd like the CEO to be on your show." And I'm like, with a name like that, and your company based in Israel, I'm pretty sure your CEO went through 8200. I would love to talk about all the stuff they did in 8200. And they're like, "Yes, absolutely, he went to 8200, but he can't talk about that at all." I'm like, "Okay, well then we'll wait. I'll
Yeah,
wait."
yeah. No, it's a weird world. And then what was it? I mean, I doubt that you know this, but I had Jim on this summer, right after the US bombed Iran or bombed the Iran, nuclear facilities. And so I had him on, and that's all that we talked about for like an hour. And he told me, he goes, I actually got read into it like a month ago that this was being planned and thought through and everything. And they were asking for my opinion. And he said, yeah, we should absolutely do it. And that was like essentially factored into the overall decision to actually do it. And then the day before they launched, he got read in and said, yeah, we're going to launch at this time. And he said that he was like getting near real time updates the whole time. And he's like, I've been retired for, X amount of years, right? Like they don't have to do that, but it was a nice courtesy because he had like so much, he had close operations in that region and whatnot.
Yeah, that's fascinating.
It's an interesting world for sure. Is there anyone that you haven't been able to get on that, you really want to get on still after all these years?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think by default or by design, I suppose, I want those hard to get interviews. And so it's always a lot of, shoulder tapping that not even knows. It's just, it's just ignoring me. Right. And yeah, I mean, like I said, Russia's hacking team or Chinese hacking team, that'd be really cool. But this, like, they're not going to ever come on.
They'd be killed if they came on.
So it's chasing ghosts in a lot of ways, right? There's some of the high profile hacks that have happened that we don't know who it was, like, I don't know, Guccifer or whoever hacked what was it, hacking team in Italy? Just some of the stuff that's happened. Like, ooh, somebody came and hacked this and we don't know who, or like it'd be fun to get those people because those people should never come on my show, right? And so that's
Right.
kind of what I'm looking for is the people who would never and should never come on my show to tell me that. And yeah, I've chased lots of different things. Vast. I mean, so I had one of the early people that was really surprising to me. That was just such a good storyteller was John McAfee, and I heard him
Sure.
talk about how crazy some of the adventures that he went on the some other podcasts, and I was like, wow, I'm glued to his story. How am I glued to this? And it was just so fascinating to hear him run from the cops and people are chasing him through the streets with guns and stuff. And so I was like, wow, that's such a good story. So I reached out to him and I said, hey, do you want to tell this stuff? He said, yeah. But I realized like